Now, as you know, the biggest problem for vaccination in this country has been the reluctance of people to have an AstraZeneca jab. This reluctance has been fuelled by the immunisation advisory body, ATAGI, who provided advice in early April that the vaccine should not be preferred for under 50s because of rare blood clotting issues, and they later hardened that to say it should not be recommended for anyone under 60. Yet now, with the damage done and millions of doses of AstraZeneca being piled up, not going into arms, the advice has changed. Now, every adult should consider an AstraZeneca jab, apparently, despite the fact, and I have to say this, that 6 deaths in this country have been linked to the vaccine. So it was pretty amazing to hear one of the members of this official advisory body this morning on radio deflecting the blame and pretending their advice had been constant.
To be honest, Fran, I don't think it's a change in advice. I think, the initial advice of ATAGI back on the 8th of April, the third line actually said, AstraZeneca remains a strong option when the benefits outweigh the risks. And a lot of this, I think, has been around messaging. When we had no COVID, there was this strong focus on the negative aspect of the safety of the vaccines for what is actually an extremely rare risk of anything serious occurring. Millions and billions of people vaccinated, now protected against us with AstraZeneca vaccine against COVID-19.
Just pretending their advice was the same all along, hey? It's incredible. What a shambles they helped to create. Anyway, it's not the only problem with the rollout. The fiddling around with online bookings is difficult enough for many, let alone the elderly or those whose English is poor. I said the other day that surely people ought to be able to just drive up and get a jab in their car when they turn up for testing. And today there's at least the announcement of easier vaccinations in some areas of Western Sydney where they'll have centres where you can just turn up without an appointment. Now, one prominent doctor and community leader in southwestern Sydney who's seen the problem and just decided to do something about it himself is Dr Jamal Rifi, and he joins me now from Belmore. Thanks for joining us, Jamal. Tell us what you did. You just decided you needed to get vaccines out to the vulnerable.
Definitely. The way it happened is Achieve Australia looks after 220 people with disability, and they haven't had any of their patients being vaccinated. And unfortunately, their carers and their guardian, they wanted them to have the Pfizer vaccine because they all fall between the age of 40 to 59. And they have the extreme end of disability, and they have complex medical condition. I had a look at their file beforehand, and I said, look, they wanted to give them the Pfizer one, perfect, because they themselves can't make an informed decision. Their carer do. And they've signed all the form. And last Saturday, myself and 4 other nurses, we backed up 120 120 of the Pfizer, and we went to Macquarie Hospital. That's where 49 of them reside. We gave them their injection. Then we went to another place where they brought totality. We gave 120 vaccine. And next Saturday, we will be doing the same for another 100. These are the most vulnerable. They need to be protected. And majority of them live in the Liverpool, Fairfield area, and they need to be vaccinated.
Now, this is the problem. Most of the deaths have been older people who are not vaccinated. Everybody in the 70s and 80s and older ought to be vaccinated. But this makes sense, right? I mean, you just got to get out there and find them and take it to them, because relying on people to get on through that online booking system, and they just won't do it. As I say, we've got to make vaccination a lot easier for people. Just turn up, at the very least, turn up at centres without an appointment and get vaccinated, surely.
Chris, it's a little bit complex, the situation, but we all know that when we opened the online booking, we had been booked for the next 3 months by people from all over Sydney. And I have no issues with that. The one who booked, we will definitely vaccinate them. But right now, the Delta variant is concentrated in Canterbury, Bankstown, Fairfield, Liverpool, and a few other suburbs. We need to vaccinate the one who lives where this virus is circulating, because the Delta variant is totally different from the original Alpha variant. It is much more deadly, much more easily transmitted, and it affects young people. So what we did, once we got the extra supply of our Pfizer, because we had 240 a week, and last week we are more than doubled, and we do actually receive 600 of that vaccine of the Pfizer, and we're going to be doing the same thing this week. But what we did, we put the words out there for our members of the community who want to be vaccinated, their moms and dads and everything, to send us their name and phone number and their address. We fill in the forms for them. We go and give them the injection if they can't physically make it.
That is great work.
Vaccination clinic.
That is just such great work, Jamal. Such good, practical, sensible work. Thank you for showing leadership in organising that, and let's hope a lot of others can take up similar measures in the future.
Thank you, Chris. Definitely, I can tell you, a lot of general practitioners in the area, they have received an extra allocation of the Pfizer and the AstraZeneca, and they are doing a good job right now.
Excellent stuff. Great to hear, Jamal. Thanks for joining us. That's Jamal Rifi, who's supposed to be retired now, but as you hear, he's just getting out there and getting those jabs into people who can't navigate the system for various reasons. Great to see, because that's the way to protect lives. I got to say, when I got vaccinated in South Australia a few weeks ago, it takes about 2 minutes to book online and half an hour at the centre. In Sydney, whether it's the systems or the population or both, takes forever online to get your appointment and close to 2 hours to actually get the jab on the day.